please don't be the reason, your husband despises his mother. Don't be the reason.
Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. My name is Uche. I base here in Spain with my family. If you're a mother and you're watching me, have you ever wondered why a father's speech is stronger than a mother's yelling? Like, most of the time, the mothers are the ones that, punish the children more. They are the ones that yell more. But yet, when the fathers speak, the children is more effective than every other thing a mother does. Let me use something that happened to me a few weeks ago. So I was in the sitting room with my kids, my 3-year-old and his immediate elder brother. So they were playing. So as a mothers, usually, you know how we foresee things. So I saw that play, one of them might get hurt. It was getting too rough for me. So I was telling them to stop because I know what is likely to be the outcome. I was telling them, sometimes I'll even raise my voice until they will tell me, okay, and they'll continue again. So I didn't know why we were going back and forth. My husband was, my husband heard what we're doing. So after some time, he now called one of them and said, is it not you that your mother is talking to? Immediately, they stopped that play. So I'm just wondering, so all these multiple times I was telling them to stop and they will tell me okay and they will continue. Did they feel I was joking or something? And this is not peculiar to me. Is maybe a similar situation with other mothers. And I'm just wondering, why is it that even though the mothers are the ones that will punish this more and they are the ones that will beat, why is it that their words are not as effective as the fathers that talk less or that yell less or that punish less? You understand? So for me, when I was growing up, my mother was a civil servant and my father was a businessman. So I would say in my own case, perhaps because we spend more time with my mother, maybe it could be like over familiarity or something. But now I would say that my husband spends more time with my kids because, I work in the afternoon. I'm the one that, dress them up for school. They'll go to school. While they are in school, I'm at home alone. Then when they come back, I'll spend little time with them. Then they'll go back to school. From the time they'll come back to school in the evening till the time they sleep, they stay with my husband. So this is not a matter of maybe they spend more time with them, except maybe they're on holiday or weekends. That's the time I would say I spend more time with them. But in general, I would say they spend more time with my husband. So it is not a matter of over familiarity. And again, like I said, my husband is not the type that yell. He doesn't yell. He doesn't punish them as much as I do. He has his own way of punishing them. But you can count how many times he can punish them in maybe 6 months. You can, see when he was really angry with any of them. But yet, so sometimes I discuss with some of my friends, and it's basically the same thing. Even one of the things actually that motivated this video is this past month we celebrated Mother's Day. It's like the first Sunday we celebrated Women's Day. Then after subsequently every Sunday I'll receive people send me message, happy Mother's Day, and I send to people. The next Sunday I'll still see people say happy Mother's Day, and I'm wondering how many days do we celebrate mothers? But the truth is that we cannot stop celebrating mothers, because what I feel about this situation, back to what I was saying, what I feel about this situation is that there is something about the mothers. I don't know if it's that umbilical cord that connects us with the children while we're pregnant. I feel there's something about the mothers. No matter how strict you think you are, no matter how much you punish the children, I feel that there is something the children see that the mothers don't see. There's this weakness in the mothers that the children see more. That feeling of empathy, that feeling that no matter how much this woman yell or beat us, there is kind of a limit to what she can do, compared to what the father can do. There was something again that happened to me, so that you understand from where I'm coming from. There was something that happened to me. So there was a time I was at work. No, I was at home. My husband was at work. So I think I was off duty that time. So my husband called me from work and he was hailing me that today is my free day, that he knows that I must have slept, I must have rested and all. I told him that he would not believe that since morning that I woke up, I haven't rested, especially with my 3-year-old. Because with the older ones I can, but with the 3-year-old, he said if he was the one, that he would just give them their own time. And when it's time for him to sleep, he will just tell them, especially the 3-year-old, Justin, I want to go and sleep. Don't disturb me, because if you disturb me, you know what I'll do to you. And that is, he said he will sleep as much as he wants. And Justin will not come near his room. And it sounded strange to me. But in his own case, when I tell him that I cannot sleep, he said it's strange to him that I will say that because Justin is awake, I cannot sleep. So one weekend, we're all at home. So man went in to sleep. So I said, let me hide under his authority and see whether this thing he has been talking about it. So I now called my 3-year-old, because the older ones, obviously, they know if I'm sleeping, they will not disturb me. So my 3-year-old, I told him, Justin, please, I want to go into the room and sleep. Please don't disturb me, okay? He said, okay. I went in. I did not even sleep up to 30 minutes. He now came in and started hearing all those, when you're sleeping, you start hearing all those chikuri thing. It happened that Justin sneaked in, come to my side of the bed, and he was tapping me and he was whispering something. And when I woke up, it was what his brother did to him. So, and I woke up, and those kind of people, when I wake up to sleep, I'll find it difficult to sleep again. That is if I will eventually, sometimes I will not sleep again. So out of that anger, I was in the sitting room, because my husband continued. Obviously, he didn't wake him. And he knew exactly what his mission was. Because I was wondering, why didn't you start crying from where you were? Or even when you get to our door, why didn't he start crying so that both of us will wake up? He knows his assignment. His assignment is to wake that woman that he feels that will not do anything to him. Do you understand? That is why I feel there is something the children see that we don't see, that weakness. That it's only a mother. That feeling that a mother has, that she will not give up on a child, even when everybody has given up on that child. I remember one comedian, one of the interviews he granted, he said he will never forget his mother. Reasons that he said there was a time he fell from a story building or so, that the doctors have confirmed that he wasn't going to walk again. So the mother at that time was a petty trader. So the mother had to lock up her shop. She didn't even care. She locked up her shop and came to stay with the boy. And eventually, with time, he didn't tell us the full story, but he started walking. But you could see there's a way he walks. But the moral of the story was saying that it was the mother that did not give up on him. And this is a general thing with mothers. They are the ones that will not give up on, no matter how useless everybody thinks that a child is only a mother that will not give up on that child. So I feel that thing that the children see, we feel is that mother feeling, but there's something, the weakness of a mother that children see, and that's what makes it feel like mothers are more stressed than the fathers. I know that there are fathers that are also very present in raising their children, but the truth is that no matter how much a father puts in, you cannot compare it. Like, assuming if my son had woken us or both of us, my husband would have just maybe looked at us and continued with his sleep. But I cannot do that as a mother that I am. It's not that is my person. It's not like it's my personal, because naturally I want to go back to sleep. But that mother feeling in me will not let me ignore him. So it's a general thing. It's not an individual thing. So that is what I feel. And so I feel every mother has to be celebrated. And yes, and this is also, I want to use this opportunity as well to talk to my fellow women. Please don't be the reason your husband despises his mother. Don't be the reason why your husband hates his mother. Don't ever be that reason, because I noticed that mostly in young newly married wives, they feel like my husband loves his mother, and maybe if I come in, he will not. No, there's no need for that. If you're a mother, when you become a mother, you understand what mothers go through. Don't be the reason why your husband will travel to the village and you're giving instruction not to go see the mother. Don't be the reason your mother-in-law cries. Why? Don't do that kind of injustice to yourself. Do you know why? You're sowing a seed. Be intentional about what you do. We are talking about mothers in general. Mothers go through a lot. You might not really understand that until you become a mother yourself. Of course, there might be misunderstanding if there is any need. I know that some mothers, out of that love they have for their child, they might want to interfere, but use wisdom. That's why the Bible said it's only a wise woman that builds her home. Use wisdom, but make sure that you're not the reason your husband hates his mother. Sow that seed. Sow that seed, because you will reap it. And when you're reaping it, the law of nature is like when you sow, you will reap. It doesn't really mean what the person does to you. That means you have to be intentional about the kind of seed you sow, especially in the lives of people. Like your mother-in-law, no matter what she does, tackle it. Make sure that she has her place and you have your own place. A man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. That means you have a greater portion in his heart, in his environment. You're living with him. But what do you want to take that portion of the mother? What do you want to do with it? Leave it. It doesn't make sense. Just take your portion and leave the rest, because you have your own. You're sowing the seed. And one thing, I've said it before, one thing about reaping is that you reap whatever seed you sow in the life of you feel that now you have the opportunity. You're the one that he's embracing. You're the one he's hugging. You're the one he's doing everything. Then you can use that opportunity to manipulate him. Ping pong. Don't go to your mother. You reap it in 100 folds. So be intentional. As a mother, mothers really go through a lot. I remember a story my husband told me when they gave him an injection and he almost got crippled. His mother even told me the story before, when we got married, before I joined my husband, how she carried my husband on her back, from where they were to where they were living to the hospital, where I think my father-in-law was not around. And that was how, if you listen to all these things, you might not really understand. Like when she was saying it, I knew it was a sacrifice that she made. But because I wasn't a mother then, I didn't really understand. But now I'm a mother, I can understand what she felt. So anything that has to do with my mother-in-law, I don't interfere. Even if you're a wife and it's not your fault that they have a misunderstanding. Maybe your husband and the mother had a misunderstanding. Make sure you're the reason that they made peace. Do you know why? You're intentionally sowing good seed for yourself that you will reap. I'm just talking to you like sister to sister. Like what I would tell blood sister is what I'm telling you. Don't do yourself that injustice. So this video is for every woman. I'm celebrating every woman. Like we celebrated Women's Day before the Mother's Day. We were first women before we became mothers. So I'm celebrating every mother and the TTC mom, as many that are looking for the fruit of the womb. I pray God will give you as much as you want, because the thought of God is that there will be no barren in the land. And as many mothers that are watching me, my prayer for all of us today is that we will reap the good fruit of our labor. We will not build and another inhabit. Yes, because it's what is raining now. It is not our portion. We will build, and when it's time to inhabit, we will inhabit. Nobody will take our place. Our bones will carry us till our old age. When it's time for us to celebrate, nobody will represent us. We will be there. That is my prayer for us, and this is inspired by the previous Mother's Day that we celebrated. I pray that we live long to eat the good fruit of our labor. If you have anything to add to this video, please, you know how I love my comment section. Please don't fail to add it in the comment section. Interact there. And don't forget that I asked the question, what is that thing you feel that makes children, that makes the father's words more effective than the mother's yelling? Okay, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my very next one. Bye.